This conference will now be recorded.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So guys, today we'll talk about the network concept in AWS in Docker. Okay. How network works in Docker. So guys, it is similar to our home. Now I will try to compare with Docker with our home network. Okay. Example, this is my home network. This is my house. So here what I will do, I have my Wi-Fi, my router. So router will create internal network, right? So what network it gets is out of matter, my router. Okay, now so my router will get one network. My like I will take internet connection, okay, and but internally I'm not directly connecting to my laptops and my home, my mobile. What I am doing, so here my router is there. My router will create a private network. Inside that private network, my devices are available like laptop, mobile. Okay, so all the devices. So, guys, here let me recall. So, overall, in like not only in India, guys, overall the world is connected with wide network only. Okay, now so overall it is connected with wide network. So if I take the internet connection, okay, so here there are two types of networks available. One is public network, one more is private network. So guys, what is the concept of public network and private network? What is the reason means? Example, overall guys, not only in India, so convenient purpose, overall the network IP ranges are divided into 5 ranges, guys. Okay. So overall, like the network IP ranges are divided into 5 ranges, guys. Class A, this is called as class A. This is called as class B. This is called as class C. This is called as class D. And this is called as class C. Okay, na? Overall, the IP range, I hope you know what is IP address. Generally, for any device, we have one IP. So to communicate with each other, they use IP address only. So the overall IP address ranges are divided into 5 classes. Class A, B, and C. So B, D, and E for future purpose. I mean for different purpose. But generally, if you take internet connection from A, B, C only, you get the internet, the IP address. Okay, now and out of it, few IP ranges they use only for private network. So actually the public provider, like the internet provider, they don't use these 3 series. 10 series from A, 172 from B, 192 from C. They don't use. So if I take internet, I will get from ABC only, but except these three, one of the range. So let me see what is my network provider IP address. My public IP. Public IP is nothing but the IP which is provided by internet provider. See guys, which range it is? Guys, which range it is? Class A. Okay na? But here what happened? In my home, I connected to my router. I'm not directly connecting to my laptop, guys. I connected to my router. My router is providing the private one more network, guys, to me. Why? What is the range? What is the concept of private network means? What is the advantage of private network means? There are multiple advantages. So one advantage is actually I have multiple laptops, but how many connections I have taken? Only one. So I'm paying for only one. So cost cutting. So in real time also, if you are working for one company, okay, now even in AWS also, we don't get for all the servers public IP. We don't use public IP for all the servers. Only for public facing website servers only, we will provide the public IP. Remaining all private only, internal only we will build. So you will get cost cutting, guys. That is one reason. The second reason is what I can say, security. So these private servers with private IP address, if your servers have public IP address, you can reach out that server with public IP. Guys, now my laptop doesn't have public IP, guys. See, which range it is? 192. Actually, I got internet from network provider. I got different IP address, but that IP address I'm not using. Okay, now so that is not allocated to my laptop. See, this is my public IP, which is provided by my network provider. So it is with my router, guys. Okay, now I connected to my router. So, but my router, my Wi-Fi has one more network. So I am getting IP address from my laptop. So guys, now I can connect to internet, but no one can connect to me with my IP address. ఈ IP address వాడుకొని no one can connect to me. Okay, because I'm in private network. My laptop is in private network now. So real time also, guys. So example, you have your own data center. Okay, now here this is customer. So public server has the internet public IP and private IP both. Public means internet provider will provide. Private means our internal router will provide. So here with public IP, example, if I say amar.com, what is happening? So I will get the IP address of the server and I will reach out to this server because it has a public IP. Remaining all, the backend server doesn't have the public IPs, guys. They have only private IP. Okay, now so internally, most of the servers we don't allocate public network for our servers. Only private IP is available. Okay, so they cannot connect from outside. So when I example whatsapp.com, maybe icicibank.com. So the front end server has the public, but back end all servers like other EC2 instance have no public IP. Okay, now they have only private IP. So internally, this server can talk to other server, guys, because they are in the same network. Example, customer hit public, sorry, personal banking. So if it is this server, they will talk to each other with private IP. మాట్లాడుకోవచ్చు ఆ రెండు. But from outside you cannot. So security purpose, guys. Okay, now. So basically that is what public and private network. Okay, and here in Docker also similar concept. Similar, like there is a separate network for our container. Okay, now we don't use our EC2 network. Example, this is my EC2 instance. So I got one IP address for my one network for my EC2 instance. But here internally, when I install Docker in my machine, okay, now one router will be created. So which is called as Docker 0. Docker 0 అనే రౌటర్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. Okay, logically, one router will be created, which is called as Docker 0. So it will create one private network. So in this private network, my containers will be created. Actually, my Docker host has separate network. Okay, now. So generally my Docker host network will be in this range. Maybe you can see, I will show you that range. So, but your container, your Docker network will be separate, 172.17. Generally in this range, my Docker network will be created. Okay, now here there is a formula. What is /16 means, guys? The general IP address, any range. I showed you, right? Like 5 ranges. It doesn't matter which IP address it is. The general IP address size is 32 bits. Okay, there is a formula to regenerate the IP addresses. So basically /16 is nothing but, so the formula is 2 to the power of 32 minus, what is the range you are asking? 16. So 2 to the power of 16 is the range here. How many, like what is the value? Around 65,000. So that is the like number of IPs you have in this network. /16 means, guys, 65,000 change IP address you will have in this network. /16 range is nothing but. Okay, now. So by default, Docker host network separate, Docker container network is separate. Okay, now. So always our containers will be available in this network only. So how it works now? Internet works. So that is the reason, guys. So how, like no one can connect to my laptop by using this IP address. Okay, now compulsory. First they should connect to my laptop. Sorry, my public network. From there only they will connect to my laptop. Example, if I say google.com. Okay, now. So from me, it will go to router. From router, it will go to EC2 instance network. From there, it will go outside. Now also same concept. In my home also. So from my laptop, it will go to my router. Okay, an example, this is my private network. This is my laptop. If I say google.com, it will connect to my router first. My router will network, as I told, my router has again public, it is connected with the internet provider. From there, it will go outside. Same concept here also. Okay, now here for EC2, you have by default one interface. Interface is called as, basically interface is nothing but, guys, I hope you know, in your laptop you have network port, guys. Nowadays no one is connecting to network wired connection. But generally you have wide port also, right? To connect wire connection, to connect with the wire. We have one port, right? That is called as network port. Interface card. Basically, in Linux, we call it as ETH0. Because of internet card only, because of the Ethernet card only, because of the network card only, you are getting internet connection, guys. I mean, the network connect settings are enabled. If you don't have that card, no connection. So basically, here, even for containers also, you have that Ethernet card. Okay, now, but additionally, Docker 0 అనే ఈథర్నెట్ కార్డ్ కూడా క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకేనా, wherever you install Docker, ఓకేనా, so wherever you install Docker, so that Docker 0 interface will be created automatically. ఓకేనా, so because of that Docker 0, like a private network is created for your containers. Now let's see practically. Yeah, so I need a volunteer now. Who will take care? Guys, tell me, guys, who has the setup, who has Docker setup? Tell me, guys, who has the Docker setup?
Yes, sir, I have.
Your good name?
Yeah, side.
Sairam. Just a minute. Yes, Sairam, I given control to you. Please go ahead. Can you run if config command? So if config command will show you network settings, guys. See, so this one you will get when you install Docker. Generally, you don't get this without Docker. Can you please install one normal EC2 instance without Docker? Without Docker, normal host. Log into it. Can you run if config command? See guys, here we don't have Docker 0 interface. So basically interface is nothing but, as I told, your Ethernet card, guys. For every operating system, doesn't matter Windows or Linux, you get internet or network connection means Ethernet card should be there for that operating system. Okay, now without Ethernet card, network settings won't come. So I hope Ethernet card means you know that. What is Ethernet card? The port, guys, the network port. If you see wide connection, to connect wire, we get one port right in your laptop. That is called as Ethernet card. So because of that only, network settings will be assigned. Otherwise, no network setting. So this is common for every operating system. Generally, we call it as ETH 0, Ethernet 0. Okay. So Ethernet 0. So when it comes to Docker host, see, additionally, this one comes, guys. Said it seems you created one more network, right, Sairam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So guys, see here, this is the Ethernet card. Virtual logical Ethernet card will be created by your Docker. See the network difference, 170 to 17 range it is. Okay, na. And here 170 to 31. Both are different network, guys. Your your EC2 instance network is different. Your Docker your Docker network is different. So that is the reason it is called as a bridge network, guys. Bridge network. Even my laptop also now bridge network only, guys. Means my actual network is separate. My network is separate. Same. My container network is separate. My EC2 instance is network is separate. If both are same, if host network and container network both are same, then that is called as host network. If host network and container network both are different, so that is called as, guys. So basically that is called as bridge network if both are different. Okay, na? So that is called now let's see that. Can you run Docker
Sir, if
network
it is same, what it is the network type?
host network?
Okay.
Different means bridge network. Okay, na? By default network is bridge only. Yeah. Can you run Docker network ls? It will show you what are the networks available in Docker. See, guys, leave it about this part, guys. Actually, this is created by Sairam. So he is working personally also. That's great, actually. Leave it about this. This won't be there. Only first one and these two. Okay, bridge network is nothing but if Docker host network means EC2 instance network, the container network both are different. So that is called as bridge network. If Docker host and container network both are same, that is called as host network. If no network means none. So by default network is this one only. So if you create a container in this range only, the bridge network, Docker 0 created this network actually. Okay, na. In this network only, the containers will be created. How can I check that? So let me check that. Docker network inspect bridge. Here only it will show you. Yeah, as of now, no containers. So Docker PS, no network. Let's build it. Docker run. Okay, let me run inspect also. See, by default in bridge network only you get the container. Guys, so to check the network details of your container, there are three ways. If you check network details, I mean the bridge network details, you will come to know one thing. One more thing, you can check container details also. This one, Docker inspect container ID. So this is one more way. Overall network details I can check, or container network details also I can check. There also I can get, or log into container. There also you can run if config command. Okay, now so there also you can check if config command, so that you can check network details. Here security, guys, as I told, the containers you cannot connect because of that reason only. From outside, why you are not able to connect? Because it has its own private network. Okay, now so Docker host network, again Docker container network, both are different. Because of that only you are not able to connect. But if at all, if Docker host and Docker container network both are same, you can connect from outside also directly with the IP address, guys. Okay, now but here see, Docker host network is separate. Okay, here my challenge is, I have few questions for you. Can you please write down Docker questions? Just a minute, guys. Today I will give you number of questions to you. Okay, everybody you have to work on those. Just a minute. Just a minute, guys. I'm searching. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I pinged in group chat, guys, here in GoToMeeting. Can please everybody open that, save that? I pinged in group chat. So, guys, everybody, don't waste the time. There are multiple questions. Copy everything. Copy everything. Sairam. Hello, are you there, Sairam? Or else
Yes,
check
sir.
your WhatsApp. You copied only
Uh,
5 questions.
okay, 1 minute, sir.
Hmm. Okay. So, guys, please make sure that everybody work on all these questions without fail. Can you please open a paint session? So, guys, as I told here, Docker has its own private network, right? Just a minute. Give me control. Okay. So this is Docker host. So this is Docker zero interface. So we call it as router also. It created a private network. So in this network only our containers are getting created by default. Means ఈ range లోనే నా containers create అవుతున్నాయి. So what is the default range? By default 170 to 17 range. So 01, 02, 03, 04 like that you will get. So my question is, guys, so okay, security will be there. So Docker host network is separate, container, that is the reason you are not able to connect from outside. But my question is, we can change this network range. Currently it is 172 series, right? I can make it 10 series. Maybe for some reason, like my application guy, so already my application is running in AWS. So they requested me to build my containers, but I need same range. I don't want to build my container with 172 range for some reason. I want to go with 10 series, my containers. So in that case, the Docker zero network should be changed. So as I told, the default network it created, right? That network now it is showing 172, right? So my concept is, so this Docker zero network should show 10 series. That is my task. So 10.0.01. That is what it should show, my requirement. So my containers also will get in that range only. So how can I do that? That is what the task. Where is that? Where is that? Yeah. How to change default network. And once I create my Docker network, my own Docker network, so how can I assign particular IP to my container, guys? So that is my question. So please do it. Otherwise, in a Monday class, I will show you. Don't worry. Okay. So how can I create my own range, my own network, and how can I create my container with this particular IP? Example. Okay, now even multiple Docker networks also I can create, guys, like this. So by default, this is one network, right? I can create one more network also with the Docker. Here I can create my containers. Okay, now. So it's your wish. I can have multiple Docker networks also, and even the default network also I can change it to different range for security purpose, guys. So okay, so private networks, like why I need two different network. Example, you have two different environments. One is development environment, one more is testing environment. So in the same Docker host I want to maintain. Simple. I will create two. One already by default one network will be there for Docker. I'll create one more network. Simple. One command is there, guys. By running that command, I can create one more network. In that network, I can build my containers. So, guys, here Google is important. Okay, na. So no one remember everything. నాకు కూడా ఈ క్వశ్చన్స్ అన్ని నోటికి ఏమి ఉండవు. But when I get a task, I can make it by Google it. That is the answer, guys. That is the requirement here. Why I am giving this many questions to you? Because here we have to do గూగుల్ చేసి ఇవన్నీ ఆన్సర్స్ తెచ్చుకోవాలి మీరు. అప్పుడు ఎక్కువ గుర్తుంటుంది మీకు. ఓకే, సో యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ మీ ఆల్సో ఇన్ మండే క్లాస్ if you're stuck anywhere. But first you try, guys. Most of the guys, what they are doing, even for simple error message also they are pinging me. How can I help you? What you will learn in that case? ఎప్పుడైతే ఎర్రర్స్ వచ్చాయో మీరు ట్రై చేయండి. ఆ ఎర్రర్తో గూగుల్ చేయండి, ఆర్ఎండి చేయండి, యూట్యూబ్ చూడండి. అప్పుడు మీకు ఆ ఆన్సర్ దొరుకుతుంది. సింపుల్గా ఇప్పుడు నేను ఆన్సర్ చెప్తా, బట్ నథింగ్ టు లర్న్. వీటికి ఆన్సర్స్ నేను చెప్పొచ్చు, నాకు జస్ట్ వన్ క్లాస్ ఒక 2 క్లాసెస్లో చెప్తా. బట్ యూ కెనాట్ లర్న్, గైస్. గూగుల్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకేనా? మేక్ షూర్ దట్. వన్ మోర్ క్వశ్చన్. How to monitor Docker container? Example, my container is up and running or not. I cannot keep on login and check, right? There are multiple Docker hosts available in your project, like 10, 15 Docker hosts. In each Docker host, I have multiple containers. So I cannot keep on login to each and every Docker host and check, right? What is the status of Docker container? It is up and running or not? Application up and running or not? I cannot check, right? So there are some third-party monitoring tools available to check container status. Okay, na. So CPU utilization, memory utilization, container status. I can check by using the third-party tool. That is what I mean. How to monitor containers, health status. So you have to set up that. Okay. So please make sure that you have to complete all these tasks by Monday without fail, so that you will get more clarity. So guys, Docker and Kubernetes very important, guys. Out of all the DevOps tools, leave it about other tools. If you know Docker and Kubernetes, you can make it anything, guys. Even you will get job easily, because these two only important. Okay, na? Yeah. So this is about network. But Monday class, if you cannot complete this thing, I will cover this also. But try to complete. Okay, it's not a big deal. Hardly a 10 minutes task. Okay, so next thing is storage concept. So how storage works in your Docker containers. Obviously, guys, all resources you are
Sir, I have
getting
one
from.
doubt.
Tell me.
So in the networks, you have told us that there are two types of networks, like three types: bridge network, host network, null network.
Mhm.
Host network means IP
Same.
of host
Docker host
and
and
Docker.
not
Yeah,
IP.
both are same.
Range,
Public.
not IP.
Okay.
IP
In
range.
like
నువ్వు అన్న దాని
so
ప్రకారం 2 ఐపీలు సేమ్ ఉంటాయి అంటున్నావు. నో, ఐపీ రేంజ్ ఈస్ సేమ్.
yeah, okay, right, sir. Whenever we install Docker, it is creating Docker 0, right? So in that case, in what cases we will see host networking?
వి డోంట్ యూజ్ దట్. అసలు వాడం.
Not,
నేనైతే ఎప్పుడు వాడలేదు.
yeah.
డిఫాల్ట్ ఈజ్ బ్రిడ్జ్ ఓన్లీ, వి యూజ్డ్ బ్రిడ్జ్ ఓన్లీ. అది సపోర్ట్ చేస్తుంది కానీ వాడం.
Okay, right, sir. Okay.
ఐ నెవర్ యూజ్డ్ ఇట్.
And what is meant by this network mask, sir? 255, there is some IP.
ఇంకా అదంతా నెట్వర్క్ లెవెల్లో వెళ్ళాలి. ఇప్పుడు అదంతా మనకు అనవసరం.
Okay,
ఓకేనా?
okay.
ఆ లెవెల్ నాలెడ్జ్ అవసరం లేదు మనకి ఇప్పుడు. ఇంకా
Okay.
సో బేసిక్ గా సింపుల్ గా చెప్పాలంటే ఎలా వర్క్ అవుతుంది అంటే ఐపీ అడ్రస్. ఇన్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ దెర్ ఆర్ 2 parts. ఎనీ ఐపీ. ఓకేనా? ఎగ్జాంపుల్, సో వాట్ ఈస్ మై పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ? దిస్ ఈస్ పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ. సారీ. Okay, let me share my screen. This is my public IP, right? So basically in IP address there are 2 parts. Okay na? So this is network part, this is host part. Basically this is network part. 124, 123. Okay na? This is network part, this is host part. Okay, so subnet mask will divide this IP into 2 parts. దానికి తెలుసు అదొక ఫార్ములా ఉంటుంది. ఆ ఫార్ములా బేస్ చేసుకొని based on that formula it will divide the example. Let's take now if I opened a google.com. okay na? google.com. so basically google.com IP ఏం చేస్తుందంటే గూగుల్ నెట్వర్క్ కి ఒక ఐపీ ఉంటుంది, రైట్? గూగుల్ has one IP. yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So first what will happen when I send any when I open any page? First it will go to my router. Okay na? There in router it will check what is the router address. For example, my Google IP address is something like this. Assume that. Anukondi. My Google IP address is this one. So here when it reaches my router, my netmask will divide this IP address into 2 parts. Network part, host part అని 2 parts చేస్తుంది. చేసి కంపేర్ చేసుకుంటుంది. ఇది నా రౌటర్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ 2 సేమేనా అని. కాదు కదా? కాదు కదా? సో ఇట్ విల్ గో టు మై హబ్. వేర్ ఇస్ మై హబ్? మై ఎయిర్టెల్ హబ్. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ నెట్ మాస్క్ సబ్నెట్ మాస్క్ ఏం చేసి ఇది దిస్ ఈస్ సబ్నెట్ మాస్క్ గైస్. basically I will get subnet mask also with my internet settings. okay na? So this subnet mask, it will divide the IP address into 2 parts, host part, network part ani. So example, once it reaches to my Airtel hub, there again my subnet mask will divide the that మళ్ళీ నా హబ్ కూడా ఒక IP address ఉంటది కదా? yes or no?
Yes,
my
sir.
hub also has one IP address, right? My subnet mask will divide that hub IP address into 2 parts again, network part, host part. సో గూగుల్ ఐపీ మ్యాచ్ అయిందా లేదా దాన్ని ట్రై చేస్తుంది, చెక్ చేస్తుంది. అవ్వలేదు. అక్కడ నుంచి ఇంకో నెట్వర్క్, సో ఇట్ విల్ గో టు నెక్స్ట్ నెట్వర్క్ విచ్ ఈస్ కనెక్టెడ్ టు మై ఎయిర్టెల్ హబ్. అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ మై సబ్నెట్ మాస్క్ విల్ డివైడ్ దట్ హబ్ ఇంటూ 2 parts, దట్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ ఇంటూ 2 parts. సో ఈ సబ్నెట్ మాస్క్ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే నీ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ ని 2 పార్ట్లు చేయడానికి నీ హోస్ట్ పార్ట్ నెట్వర్క్ పార్ట్ ని డివైడ్ చేయడానికి సబ్నెట్ మాస్క్ వాడతాం. అండర్స్టాండ్?
ఓకే రైట్. ఓకే రైట్.
అది ఇంకా నెట్వర్క్ నువ్వు వెళ్తే కొద్ది వస్తూనే ఉంటది, అది అంత లెవెల్లో అసలు మనకు అవసరం లేదు. ఓకే, యా. ఎందుకంటే మనం డైరెక్ట్ నెట్వర్క్ అడ్మిన్స్ కాదు కదా, జస్ట్ బేసిక్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఉంటే సరిపోతుంది. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే రైట్ సార్, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
అందుకనే అది చెప్పలేదు నేను. యా. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఈజ్ స్టోరేజ్ కాన్సెప్ట్. వాట్ ఈజ్ స్టోరేజ్? సో హౌ స్టోరేజ్ వర్క్స్ ఫర్ అవర్ containers. So obviously guys, here, oh I'm sorry, so Sairam, please share your screen.
I didn't get the request, sir.
So how storage works in my Docker host? Give me control. Example, this is my Docker host, this is my container. So obviously guys, the storage should come from Docker host only. Yes or no guys? CPU, RAM, storage, everything should come from Docker host only. మరి స్పెషల్గా ఎందుకు మాట్లాడుకుంటున్నాం? వై వీఆర్ ఎక్స్ప్లిసిట్లీ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ స్టోరేజ్ మీన్ there is a problem with the common storage. So what will happen when I create a container in Docker host, guys, in Linux operating system or Windows, whichever it might be, one folder gets created actually, where lib docker. So this is by default when you install Docker you will get this folder already. Okay now, so this folder already will be there up to here. So when I create a new container, basically every container has one apart from the ID, there is one more ID called hash ID. So with that ID one folder gets created and under that merged folder. Okay now, so this folder act as the hard disk for your container guys. So here it is mapped as slash folder. Okay now, so in Docker host, when I create a Docker container, so one folder gets created. ఈ ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. ఓకేనా? సో అండర్ ఓవర్లే టు వర్క్ ఆల్రెడీ ఉంటుంది. సో హియర్ విత్ కంటైనర్ వన్ ఐడి వన్ ఫోల్డర్ గెట్స్ క్రియేటెడ్ అండర్ దట్ మెర్జ్డ్ ఫోల్డర్. సో దిస్ ఫోల్డర్ యాక్ట్ యాజ్ ద హార్డ్ డిస్క్ ఫర్ యువర్ కంటైనర్. అంటే కంటైనర్ లోపల స్లాష్ ఫోల్డర్ అండ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ మెర్జ్డ్ ఫోల్డర్. హియర్ both are same, the content is same. If you log into container under the slash folder, whatever data you see, and here if you come out of the Docker container, if you go to this merged folder, data is same. So guys, in general, to manage your application data and this container data, we no need to log into container. Only for installation purpose we use container, application installation, and the data and all we manage from Docker host only. We no need to log into your container to manage your data, to create the data, to edit the data inside a container. Only installation కి మాత్రమే కంటైనర్ లోపలికి లాగిన్ అవుతాం. మిగిలిందంతా బయట నుండే డాకర్ హోస్ట్ లో నుండే చేసేసుకోవచ్చు. సో ఇఫ్ యు గో టు దిస్ మెర్జ్డ్ ఫోల్డర్ ఫర్ యువర్ కంటైనర్, దేర్ యూ కెన్ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ద కంటైనర్ data. So you can find out that application data and it is the data. So you no need to log into the container. Okay, but what is the problem here means this is the temporary storage, guys. So this is the temporary storage means if any case, if you reboot or just shut down or delete your container, so whatever the data you stored in this folder, that merged folder, subsequent folders, the data will be gone. That is the problem with the default storage. For some reason maybe మీరే delete చేయొచ్చు, పొరపాటున delete చేయొచ్చు, అదంతా అనవసరం దానికి. పొరపాటున delete చేసావు కదా అని డేటా ఉండదు. So guys, okay na, if at all you delete your container, so all the application data which is there in this merged folder gets deleted. So that's a temporary storage which comes with the container, goes with the container, guys. Okay na, so we don't we go with the default storage. We additionally attach our hard disks to containers because I don't want to miss my data at any case. Even if I delete my container also, why should I delete? Generally example, you have latest image for my application. So simple, I'll take a backup like a image from the container. I'll delete my container, create new container with new image. So application data I don't want to lose. What I do, I'll attach a new volume, new storage. Basically, we call it as volumes, Docker volumes. We attach additional Docker volumes to our container to persist the data. Okay, na? So maybe not now. So in Monday class, I will show you how to create this persistent data. What is volume? What are the different types of volume? That network concept also I will show you. If at all you cannot. Okay, na? So how to create default network, how to change it, how to create multiple network. So those things and all we'll see in Monday class. But try, guys. My request is you try first. Don't simply leave it. Always you should reduce the dependency, guys. అలా అయితేనే మీరు నేర్చుకోగలుగుతారు. చూద్దాంలే, చెప్తారులే ఎవరో ఒకరు అనుకుంటే అది ఎప్పటికీ కాని పని. ఓకేనా? యా. Okay then, guys. So to Monday class we'll discuss about the storage. Okay?
Okay, sir. Sir, I have
Yeah.
one doubt. It is
Yes.
not regarding Docker. Normally, if we use scp command, or we will specify the path, right, sir, /root something, whatever the address. I want to know the details regarding if I use / two times, it is changing the path or it is creating some one subfolder. Can you tell the details like /root
No, it will take as
folder?
one slash only. Double, you are saying that double slash, right?
Yeah, if we give /, it is creating one subfolder also automatically.
No,
Actually, you have given us some tasks. You have sent us some videos. Jenkins
Can you
to
show me the
Ansible.
command? Can you show me the command once?
I don't have the setup, sir. I will create and I will ask on Monday.
Yeah.
Do you have?
No. I don't have it right now. We'll do the setup on Monday and we'll ask you, sir.
Yes.
The thing is,
Always
what happened
take
is,
the
yeah.
screenshot.
Mhm.
Not only
Yeah,
this question. Generally also, whenever you get any question or any error, if you are not able to find it out, please take the screenshot, guys.
Sure.
Okay, right, sir.
Yeah.
Next step.
And
Yeah.
let me tell you brief. What we're trying to say is like if you're giving the double slash, then only it is taking. If you're giving the single slash, it is creating the path. If I give like var slash libs slash docker, it is creating the path, but not just going to that path and saving that file there. Instead, it is creating the same path in tilde, and then it is saving the same in the target folder. So that's what
Yeah.
he's trying to
Show me.
explain. So
Okay.
we'll show in the Monday class. Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Sure, Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay then, guys.